Sheila entered Il Giardino with her usual sneaky smile and quiet confidence. As innocent as she appeared, she was anything but. She glanced at Deacon wiping the counter. She strolled over, whispering, "Deacon, I've got a little proposition for you," she said, sitting at the bar. "Something I think you'll love." Deacon watched her suspiciously, knowing Sheila's propositions often caused difficulties. However, her eyes sparkled with delight, making him intrigued despite himself. "What kind of proposition are we talking about?" he said neutrally. He imagined every scenario Sheila might create. Her voice was low as she leaned in. "Let's pretend I can push some buttons. If my plans work, we'll flip this town, and you'll be in the middle." Deacon's expression was curious and uncertain. Sheila had tricked him before, so he knew how deadly she was when she wanted anything. Her words captivated him enough to resist leaving. "Please elaborate, Sheila. This could backfire on me, therefore I'm out." Sheila smiled wider. "Trust me, Deacon. The plan is foolproof." Scene 2. Carter and Deacon's fate changes. Carter Walton has been watching Deacon since his connection with Sheila made headlines in Los Angeles. Carter couldn't stand Deacon's relationship with Sheila and suspected she was manipulating him. What happened when he met Deacon at Il Giardino later that evening was unexpected. "Deacon," Carter said stiffly, hands in pockets, "I need to know about you and Sheila. You know she's trouble, right? The Forrester staff doesn't need her disruption right now." The Deacon rolled his eyes, expecting more lecture. "Carter, Sheila may be trouble, but you don't pick who I hang out with. As a grown man, I know what I'm doing." "Do you?" Carter responded with irritation. "From where I am, she appears to be pulling you into something dark. If you get dragged down, you may never rise again." Their silence was tense and tinged with an understanding that they both cared about safeguarding those they loved. Deacon eventually replied, "Look," dropping his voice, "I know Sheila isn't ideal. She's different with me. She exposes a side no one else does. It may make me silly, but it's genuine to me." Carter noted Deacon's genuineness in his words. Although he wanted to reject Deacon's thoughts as naive, he partly understood. "Just be careful," Carter said, his voice relaxing. "I know how much people can change with a chance. But Sheila has a reputation, and if you're not careful, she'll bring you down." The conversation left both men thinking about their next move. Carter wondered if Deacon might be saved from Sheila's plans. Scene 3. Scam by Sheila. In the days that followed, Sheila's idea developed. She cleverly staged a Forrester scandal to exonerate Deacon and undermine Sheila's longtime enemies. The trap was carefully designed to appear foolproof. Deacon only had to do his part, which Sheila promised would be safe. Deacon grew uneasy. He saw the evil in Sheila's strategy and concerned that exposing it would ruin his hard-won reputation and injure others he cared about. Despite loving Sheila, he wavered. Carter entered Il Giardino one evening while considering the plan, thinking something was wrong. Carter moved onto the seat next to him, silently agreeing. "Do you seriously consider doing this?" Carter inquired quietly, without judgment. Deacon looked down, conflicted. It seemed possible that I could do this without hurting anyone. However, Sheila is not interested in fair play. I doubt I can leave now." Carter sighed, relieved and frustrated. "Listen, Deacon, if Sheila's strategy is what I think it is, it might be terrible for you and many others. I don't want you to lose everything you fought for to someone who's always been selfish." Deacon nodded, looking at the glass. Carter's remarks hurt, and he knew he had to leave Sheila's plan to save everything he'd achieved. Scene 4. Breaking Bonds. Deacon addressed Sheila the next day, expressing his fears and determination to abandon her plan. Sheila didn't like the news. "Are you really going to let Carter Walton dictate your life?" she asked, her eyes sharpening. "Deacon, you seem different." Deacon stood steady. "I thought you supported." Knowing Carter's comments had grounded him unexpectedly. "Sheila, I must accept my decisions. I cannot live with this choice." In addition to her rage, Sheila's eyes showed a spark of vulnerability, as if she hadn't expected Deacon to stand up to her. "If that's how you feel, Deacon, then maybe you don't belong in my life after all," she muttered, moving away. Deacon felt strangely relieved and sad as he left. Though he left something dangerous, he felt lighter without Sheila's influence. For the first time, he picked his own route without others' whims. Scene 5. New Alliance. Later that night, Deacon met Carter at Il Giardino and felt a sense of camaraderie with the man he formerly considered an irritation. They nodded in agreement, acknowledging their shared struggle. "I owe you one," Deacon said, raising his glass in a toast. "Without you, I wouldn't have had the guts to leave." Carter raised his glass with a modest smile. "We sometimes need someone to remind us of what matters." The two men formed a camaraderie as they clinked glasses, wanting to rise beyond the plots and chaos that had shaped their lives. They saw hope for a future where loyalty, respect, and true connection prevailed over manipulation and deceit for the first time in a long time.